And Toyota's decision has thrown up plenty of questions. The latest is, why have tariffs on auto imports if there's no local production to protect? Well, Eliza Borello's been talking to the Australian Automobile Association's Andrew McKellar. He's the one asking the government to pull down the barriers.
Andrew McKellar, thanks for joining us. What's your pitch to the government? Why should they reduce the tariffs on imported cars?
Well, look, as we go forward, now that it's clear that the remaining local vehicle manufacturers will be exiting the industry over the next couple of years, our view is that the revenue that's currently being collected from tariffs on imported vehicles will not be required going forward. That should be returned to consumers. There's no point the government clinging on to a windfall as the expenditure on assistance to the industry trails away.
How much cheaper will it make the average imported car?
Well, look, we think that on average it's between $1,000 and $2,000 per car.
There are fears, though, that if conditions in the local manufacturing industry get worse, then the timetables for pulling out of Australia that the companies have announced 2016-17 could be brought forward. Do you believe this change could see the timetable brought forward?
Well, we have to manage that transition, and I think there's nothing that we're suggesting other than that the government should look at the timetable for reducing the tariff now. We think that in the longer term, they shouldn't cling on to that revenue. It should go back to consumers.
Andrew McKellar there from the Automobile Association. Well, the government's barely had time to absorb Toyota's decision, and it says it's way too early to make any move on tariffs.
There's a number of years before the assembling of motor vehicles will not be occurring in Australia. In the meantime, we need an ordered process. Part of that is the examination of the tariff regime. That does give the domestic assemblers some protection and some opportunity to sell into the local market. But there will still be vehicle assembling for a number of years, and we don't want to make immediate changes that would compromise that ongoing work as transition plans are put in place. Secondly, you don't give away tariff reductions without getting something in return. Some of those economies that would benefit from even lower tariffs on motor vehicles are also economies where we'd like our components to be able to enter into those economies so they're part of those vehicles. So you don't just give away tariff reductions without securing improved opportunities yourself. That's part of the excellent work that Andrew Robb's involved in, and there's ample opportunity to look at an orderly tapering of tariffs as the industry tapers and to understand the implications on our economy.